Hello there. Today I want to share with you guys some parts that you can buy that are compatible with any saber that is bought from an LGT Saber Studio retailer. So the most common would be Dark Wolf Sabers has a direct affiliation with LGT Studios, but you also have Crimson Dawn. Vire Sabers is actually where I got these parts. Outer Rim Saber Parts actually sells parts and completed sabers. There's also Rebel Sabers, and I'm sure there's so many others out there that sell the sabers that are compatible with these parts. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I've already done a video about thinking about what kind of features that you want on your emitter. So that's things to consider about your emitter. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But this is what Crimson Dawn calls the Shade. I believe Vire Sabers calls this the Guardian. Essentially, this is just a more basic emitter. It has a very nice choke point and then several of these grooves. Now, I've modified mine to have O-rings because I actually use this primarily for dueling. And so I've got that nice choke point, but I can also kind of grip it up a little bit higher up there. So this is great for dueling. It also has a very deep insertion depth. So you can see that retention screw right here at the bottom. That's as low as the blade goes. So the blade is in here fairly deep. And for dueling, you really need that. But it's not aesthetically what I prefer. So, for those aesthetics, and again, I bought these from Vire Sabers. I believe they call this the Pax Emitter. Now, the only color that you can get this in currently is in Frosted Silver. I'm not a fan of Frosted Silver because it is a little bit more matte, which is ironically what my carapace just after time has turned into. But I like the more, shiny, kind of reflective aluminum. So what I've done on this is I actually just got a little piece, use the retention screws, put it in a drill. So this was just spinning, and then just did some sandpaper. So that sanded off that outside frosting and gave it a lot more of a nice shine. In these grooves here, I actually went to the hobby store and bought Molotow liquid chrome. It comes in a little marker. You can get the marker in different sizes, and I just kind of drew that in there, and that gave that a really, really nice shine. Let me actually bring this a little closer. So as you can see, that's got a really nice shine to it now. Now, one of the nice things about this particular emitter is that you can see it's got actually two retention screws there, and they're very, very close together and very much at the top of the emitter. So that is actually really needed for this particular emitter because you'll notice it's very, very short. And when you compare it to this emitter, which I would consider this emitter to be pretty standard sized amongst the other emitters. And as you can see, that's very, very short. So if you're going to get this, you absolutely have to get an extension. Now, at first I thought I was going to just try this extension, which is another part I want to show to you guys. This is actually just a choke, which is compatible with really any emitter. So if you wanted to say, if you didn't have a choke on your existing emitter and you wanted to add one, which I highly recommend, it really makes it a lot easier for spinning, you can go ahead and do that. Actually, in this case, now I would actually have a double choke. So definitely something to add. It also adds a little bit of color. So most of my saber in this case is black and silver. I added a little bit of gold just to give it a little bit of that Obi-Wan, Luke Skywalker's ring saber flair. So you'll notice most LGT sabers, they've got this core that's 1 inch inner diameter. It's the same diameter as the blade. And when you put the switch section, most switch sections stop about here. So a little bit of the core sticks out, and that's the LED module. So if you were just going to get this emitter, without even screwing that in, you can see that's going to poke out. There's going to be no way to attach a blade. So you have to do an extension. And while this extension actually works, this choke, the other nice thing about this Pax emitter is that it's actually a wider diameter. You can actually see how much thicker this is to the outer diameter of this. So that gives it kind of a flared, almost flanged look to that. And I really like the look of that. And it feels really nice where the choke is. This piece doesn't, it doesn't really interfere with my hand whatsoever. So really great for spinning. But again, the depth is very short. I'm going to share this real quick just as a reference point. This is my Photon Blade that I bought originally when I was just using these emitters. And so this 1-inch section, so I got 7/8 inch because I like shorter blades for my staffs or when I pair. And so a longer blade, a thinner blade looks longer just for proportion's sake. But in order to make that compatible with these, I did need to put a 1-inch outer diameter section, so that's what this is for. I've capped this off with a little bit of aluminum because I needed to if this is going to show, I needed to kind of make that blend. So originally, this entire section fit into this emitter. But with this guy right here, you'll notice that's as deep as I can get that. So if I hadn't put this little bit of silver here, it would just look weird because you'd have this thicker bit of blade and then randomly a thinner bit of blade. I thought that might look pretty good. I'm actually not super thrilled with this. So, to solve the problem, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to buy another extension. So this is a VHC Covertec wheel extension. So again, you can get this at Vire Sabers, Outer Rim Saber Parts. I believe Crimson Dawn also sells this with the Covertec wheel already attached. Now, of course, you can buy the Covertec wheel from Vire Sabers or Outer Rim Saber Parts as well, and they'll go ahead and put them together for you. But what I like about this is it's very, very short. It's only 5/8 inch. So what you can do is, and that's actually another reason why these LGT sabers are so fun, is that you can mix and match parts until your heart is content, and you can get just the perfect saber for you. So as you can see there, now I have enough insertion depth to where I can actually probably put this in a little bit more, but that foil tape on the top of this isn't allowing me to push it down anymore. But that is perfect. That actually gets it in a lot deeper than it would otherwise. It leaves the choke at a really comfortable balance point. You see that's pretty well balanced. So again, that's another great thing about these chokes and these extensions is that you can kind of use them to perfectly balance your saber. Well, I hope you guys enjoy. Go ahead and turn this on because it wouldn't be a saber video without some of that. All right. May the force be with you.